futurists imagined a world where homes didn't just contain smart devices, but they were living, breathing entities themselves that anticipated your every move. So how close are we to this vision? And just how much smarter do we want our homes to become? I'm Marques Brownlee, and I review dope new tech. But on this show, I'm rewinding the clock to look at the tech of the past that we thought would be our future. This is Retro Tech Smart Homes. Hey, what's up? I'm KBHD here, and the tech we're talking about today is smart home technology. So I clearly have no idea what I'm about to unbox, but it comes from 1992. Let's see. What we have here. The smart clapper. Clap it on, clap it off. Oh, it's a smart outlet that just listens to clapping, which probably seemed pretty futuristic. There's no software, there's no programming, there's no apps. You plug in this adapter, which is huge, by the way, into the wall, insert appliance plugs into clap receptacles. I don't actually know where the idea of the whole clap to turn the light off thing came from. This is the original of that idea. Well, that makes this like iconic, doesn't it? We should probably try it. So now, that was pretty good. Not too much delay. So that worked with one, but the real promise is you got two at the same time. One for two claps, one for three. So, without any further ado, oh my God. We got a lot of retro tech in here, clearly. This is for the realism. So I could plug in a normal radio, but I mean, come on. Okay. Let's say you get home and you want to really impress somebody, so everything is off and you don't even say anything, you just walk in. Hey, you want to listen to some music? Don't answer that. Got you. Turn up. Is that a power move, or is that just a nerdy thing to do? All right, so I'm right next to it. Let's go across the room for a second. Okay, well, this is just a small slice of the whole smart home experience that's evolved from these days. So I guess the question is, how much have we done since then, and how far do we still have to go? Let's just go ahead and explore the rest of that pie, shall we? Welcome to Retro Tech.
Thanks for having me.
First thing I'm gonna ask you to do is check underneath your seat.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, I remember this.
The clapper? Little me is really having a moment right now.
Clap on, clap off just became, something that people would say about everything.
Clap on, clap off. This was the beginning of our lazy culture.
Does it still look like technology?
No, but this was technology back in the day for sure.
I guess the obvious first question is, was there like a beginning of smart home tech?
Back in the 50s and the 60s, the middle class went into the suburbs, and it was all about time-saving devices that were very easy and simple to use.
The vacuum cleaner does a better cleaning job on her rugs and furniture than she could do by hand.
So now there's a washing machine that will do all the laundry, and you have a dishwasher that'll take care of the dishes.
The cleaning, the washing, the cooking, they're the standing up activities. And the other part of the home has to do with the sitting down part of the experience.
The outstanding feature of this color television is an amazing new remote control.
The remote control was invented. And all of a sudden we could kick back on the couch, and with one press of a button, the television would be on.
A remote control really kind of boils down a lot of the smart home technologies. It's very convenient to be able to sit on your couch and control what's on your screen, use infrared commands. You could volume up and down, power and everything. And of course, once that was in the house, you never even thought about walking up to the television again.
The remote is incredible. I have back problems, and the PT person is like, you have to get up every 10 minutes. And I'm like, actually, I don't.
You can operate all 7 functions from your easy chair
Once we got our hands on these remote controls, we wanted a remote control for everything.
I have a TV remote, a cable remote, a VCR remote.
One for our VHS player, one for our beta player, one for our stereo. And we were drowning in these remote controls.
Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, believed in remote control so much that he left Apple to found a company. Its sole purpose was to develop a new remote control. Unfortunately, it was really complicated and it ultimately failed. Early technology suffered from this idea that just because it was impressive or complicated looking, then it was good.
And remote controls were getting bigger and bigger and more complicated.
They made it seem like this is tech that we wanted, but we just wanted to turn the volume up. That's it.
Okay, so for a minute there, remotes got pretty complicated before they got simple again. So today, I'm joined by comedian Dulce Sloan, and we're going to test out some of these early remotes. This is Dope or Nope. All right, so we're talking remote controls.
Remote control.
So there's a TV here.
Cute. It looks like a space helmet.
All right, first thing we got here, it's about 20 years old.
Okay. Invoca, the world's most advanced remote control. Voice activated. Oh, looks like Alexa didn't start the game.
They're making some big claims here, using technology so advanced that it has been used in interplanetary space probes.
That was a lie in the 90s. This went to space.
So it says, first you have to train it to your voice.
Okay.
All right, step one. Be sure the room is quiet.
Shut up! We're doing technology. All right.
Step two, press and release the train button, and it's gonna apparently say a word.
Okay.
Say a word.
Hello.
Press a button.
Okay.
Button accepted. Press another button.
Another button.
Wake up.
Button accepted. Press another button.
How many more buttons she want?
Okay, it will listen for remote commands when the wake up button is pressed.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Come on, that's gotta be it. I'm disappointed. Not gonna lie.
Hello.
We did it.
Hallelujah. All right.
Worth it.
Nope.
I'm with you. Definitely way too much work.
Yes.
Definitely doesn't work that well.
No.
And definitely not that much better than just pressing the button.
Yeah.
So that's a nope.
That'll make you get divorced.
All right, this next remote comes to us from 1995.
Ooh, I remember that year. What were you, 2?
Yeah, I was 2. I don't remember that year at all.
Cute.
So this is the remote control locator. Never lose your remote again.
Oh, it's like a tile.
It's just a literal speaker, I guess. You press the button. That's it. You locate it with the beeping. The #1 customer for this is someone who loses remotes all the time. And the solution is another remote. We have a remote.
Oh, and look, there's no back to it.
Classic.
Now I believe this is in someone's home.
So,
okay.
So it's attached. So
Okay.
we should just lose the remote.
Yes.
Okay.
Come back.
Yeah.
You'd be very easy to hypnotize.
So now, I have this game I want to record tonight, but I don't know where the remote is.
If only we had something to help us locate our remote.
I'm like living in an infomercial. I'm gonna press the button and see what happens.
Yay!
Only took me 12 beeps. Okay, so upside, you find it. Downside is this is a little bit,
Cumbersome.
it's a little much, but it makes your house just a little bit smarter no matter how simple it really is. It works, it's dope.
Dope.
So maybe early smart home tech wasn't all that impressive by today's standards, but that didn't stop us from dreaming big, and most of those dreams were inspired by what we saw in science fiction.
A lot of our aspirations for smart home tech really come from sci-fi.
Everything from the dystopian examples from 2001: A Space Odyssey to Back to the Future 2, where you get a kitchen that can actually make the food for you.
Hydrate level 4, please.
In the Marvel series, Iron Man's Jarvis system is kind of this digital butler around the home.
You should probably prepare for your guests. Thanks, buddy.
In Star Trek, you had the replicator. You could go up to it and say,
"Order another cup of coffee, black."
Sci-fi will often portend the future that we want to inhabit, but is not quite realistic for the technology that we actually have.
Those home technologies of sci-fi movies really did start to whet our appetite, though. And so we just started to seek more and more from these devices.
George, this is a program called Powerhouse. It kind of turns your home into an intelligent home.
Back in the 70s, there was something called X10, and it would actually use the existing wiring in your home.
And there was a control panel that you could press buttons on. You could turn on and off lights, the fans, things like that. The issue, of course, is that you really can't do much more than that.
This was still before Wi-Fi, so it was all operating on wiring in the physical home.
When it comes to the creation of a lot of these technologies, there are always going to be things that are just too soon.
So was it easier to just turn on a device yourself? Or did these early automated systems actually live up to the promise of smart home technology? Well, today I'm joined by fellow YouTube creator Sam Sheffer, and we're going to test out some of these systems to see for ourselves. So Sam, thanks for joining me on Retro Tech.
Of course.
I've heard of a lot of tech, but I've never heard of X10. I'm curious what this tech from the 80s sort of looked like.
Okay, Marques, this is the OG of the X10 system. So this is Radio Shack's plug-and-power remote control center. So these things are the modules. You plug an appliance into here, then these plug into the wall, and this is how you control everything.
All right.
So picture this, young Marques in early 80s.
All right, I'm gonna put myself back in the 80s. Cue the recreation.
Okay, so Marques, imagine you've just come home from a long day at school. You're downright exhausted. Now, you could get up and turn on the lights, the toaster, popcorn machine, TV, and maybe even turn on your vacuum. Or you could just turn on one button. Which would you choose?
Now that was good. That was good. That was powerful. It feels impressive in a way in the tech world of the 80s to do one thing and have several things happen. Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so this thing is called the Master Voice Butler in a Box. It is the first voice-activated smart home hub. So if I say, Jarvis.
May I help you?
Lights on.
Okay, master.
Also, around the back, you actually have a phone jack in here.
Yep.
So this thing can actually connect to your landline.
So what sort of scenario would this be useful for?
So Marques, picture this. 1986. You're at home, you just made yourself a delicious sandwich, and you're really excited about it. You're about to take a bite, and you just realize you need to call your mom. But your phone is so far away. Enter Master Voice, Butler in a Box.
Hey, Jarvis.
Yes, master.
Call mom.
Please repeat.
Call mom.
Please repeat.
Call mom.
Did you call?
Call.
Please repeat.
Call.
Please repeat.
Call.
May I help you?
Call mom.
Okay, master.
Hey, Mom. That wasn't great. I think we've all had that bleeding edge tech experience where we just know it's not ready yet. And I feel like that was that experience.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to imagine, wow, this came out in 1986.
Yeah, to an extent, I'm impressed. Drawing a straight line to what we have today and what we're looking forward to in the future, this is it. This is what we want, an assistant. So what we're doing now with the internet is creating a home network the same way X10, technically through all the wires in our house, was a network. So maybe the X10 system didn't make our homes all that much smarter, but true smart home technology was just around the corner thanks to a little thing called
the internet.
When we finally got internet and Wi-Fi in our homes, that really opened up the world of smart home innovation. Because instead of just having smart devices, you had smart devices that could talk to each other.
The entire home in and of itself is smart.
Anything you can think of is now connected, and it means you'll never have a cold shower again.
A lot of appliances now have smart built into them. For example, a stove that can preheat when you're coming home.
Everything from controlling the thermostat in your home to having a security camera on your door, even though we're all just kind of using it to watch our cats while we're gone.
I think the advent of the internet and Wi-Fi and internet-connected everything made the possibilities kind of seem endless. So what is the future of smart home tech?
The promise of technology in the home was that it was going to make us more effective, more efficient. Everything would be more convenient and simpler. And we finally got what we wanted. But there's a whole world of opportunity for us to think about the smart home as something that helps us and the Earth.
Fortunately, my house can rise above the air pollution.
I mean, the reason the Jetsons live in these sky pods is because of the smog layer. So how can we use that technology to actually make the Earth better too?
This is something that really, really matters. We want homes that don't contribute to an environmental footprint. The energy and the streamlining of that is going to be one of the biggest design factors, I think, in the future.
The evolution of smart homes has put technology we only dreamed of right at our fingertips. But how can we make our homes not only smart, but also energy efficient? To find out, I'm joined by none other than environmentalist and philanthropist Bill Gates. All right, Bill, thank you for joining me on RetroTech.
Glad to be here.
So you wrote a book about 25 odd years ago called The Road Ahead, in which you made a bunch of impressively accurate predictions about our future. I'm curious how your vision of smart homes over the years, over the last 30 years or so, has changed, and specifically how climate change has wrapped more and more into that picture.
A lot of what we talked about in those early days was various home automation type things.
As Robin enters, she just touches Welcome Home on the nearest wall panel. So the house is set just the way she likes it.
You know, the temperature would automatically adjust. The lights, would turn off when they weren't needed. And part of that was optimizing energy usage, that, you wouldn't have lights on or be heating or cooling spaces unless it was absolutely necessary. You want the digital ability to control those things and to understand where you're using electricity. That still hasn't happened. The home control is still to be rolled out as something that's simple and cheap.
Do you think that sort of stuff is something we should be shooting towards more, like specifically helping ourselves and the environment at the same time?
Yeah, for most houses, the big use of electricity is the heating and cooling. Right now, that meter, which most people don't go out and look at, it doesn't do a what if. What if I insulated the attic? What if, I turned down from 72 degrees to 70 degrees? If you bring that into the digital realm on your PC or phone, then you can attribute the different loads to different activities, and with a good UI, set the policy so that you're doing your part as somebody who cares about climate change.
How do we get to a future where it's not just a couple of smart homes sprinkled in our neighborhoods that are high efficiency, but whole smart cities, smart states that are hyper efficient and energy positive?
Well, often this gets pioneered by when you have a new development. In America, houses are big, and that's a lot of energy. And we want to move that from natural gas, which has carbon emissions, to electricity. And there's a thing called a heat pump that's actually fairly cheap. In fact, amazingly, some houses can switch and buy this heat pump and replace their natural gas and actually end up saving money. Obviously, if you have the intelligence on all the different houses, controlling when you're using electricity, like, hey, turn all the lights off, or I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks, do the right thing. It has to be smart. We don't have that yet. So I think you will see new developments where they're trying to market themselves as, city of the future type thing, because we need pioneers to, see how this can all come together.
So as far as visions for the future, we might be closer to a smart home than anything else we've talked about. The real challenge is going to be getting people to adopt this future, more than just a few. I think the sweet spot is somewhere in between the clapper and its simplicity and ease of use and convenience, and the Nests and smart windows of the world. But then once we're there, we can move forward into this sci-fi smart home future we've been waiting for. Either way, that's been it. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.